about the Lincoln Project. It's burst onto the political scene with a series of viral anti-Trump videos that have even caught the president's attention. Trump tweeted this about you and your colleagues, quote, "I didn't use any of them because they don't know how to win, and their so-called Lincoln Project is a disgrace to Honest Abe." Wow, Trump is not usually so sensitive. How did you get under Trump's thick rhino-like skin?
It was amazing that this man of such sterling moral character and constitution was irritated by a few political consultants who made some viral videos about him. He's normally very much the robust, strapping man who stoically takes any adversity. Or he's a whining bitch addicted to Twitter.
Yes, he is a bitch. That is the biggest insult, comparing someone to a woman. I hate us.
Now let's talk about who is involved with the Lincoln Project. At least 7 members of your leadership team are Bush-Cheney campaign alumni. And I gotta say, we really miss Bush. He always did what was right for the country, that country being Saudi Arabia.
George W. Bush had such skill. Unlike Trump, he knew how to keep human suffering a few more degrees of separation away from us.
Well, look, there's no president in the history of this country who's done more to abuse the office of the presidency, to treat Americans in ways that are racially and morally and economically divisive. And he is unquestionably the worst president in our history.
We agree with you, Rick. Trump's failures are much, much worse than George W. Bush's. I mean, Trump is responsible for bad deficit increases, bad corruption, bad racism, and bad countless deaths. But George W. Bush, on the other hand, is responsible for good deficit increases, good corruption, good racism, and good countless deaths.
You know, I miss the Republican Party before it embraced Trump, back when it only laid the groundwork for him.
Moving on, you've received glowing reviews from the MSNBC crowd. Let's take a look at this.
I'm a big admirer of these never-Trumpers, or the Bulwark people and the Lincoln Project people.
I don't give money to political organizations. I've given money to Lincoln Project because of ads like this.
The Lincoln Project is like watching a Jay-Z Nas rap battle. I mean, they don't let up on this president.
I want the Democrats to pay attention to the Lincoln Project. They're doing a superb job.
The Lincoln Project, those are good commercials.
Rick, how rewarding is it to win over the people you've demonized your entire career?
You know what? The person I'm interested in demonizing right now is Donald Trump. And the person the Lincoln Project is focused on is Donald Trump. And the fact is that Americans from all walks of life have recognized that we need all hands on deck in this fight to save this country. And you know what? Allies come from all different stripes and all different walks of life. And I'm happy to accept the support and encouragement from folks across the spectrum.
Now, you've written tweets disparaging Muslims and members of the LGBT community, but we have to take issue with your remarks on attendees of the liberal Netroots conference. You tweeted, "Dear Nutroots lefties, you are Barack Obama's bitch. You are pathetic little whores satisfied with crumbs and head pats." Rick, when was the exact moment you realized those pathetic little whores could be tapped for money?
You know, the fact of the matter is, everyone on Twitter lives in a culture where there's a lot of fronting and a lot of shit talk. Okay, and not every quote that you have on Twitter from the past is something that you're going to live with forever. These things are a culture that runs both ways.
Now, Rick, the Lincoln Project has been wildly successful and is growing faster than ever. The Washington Post reports that, quote, advisors to the Lincoln Project, which they say has about 30 employees and raised $16.8 million this quarter, will soon expand to include ground operations. Now, given that half of you worked for Bush, for these new ground operations, how many people should we expect to die?
All I can say is we'll be greeted as liberators.
That worked last time, right?
Let's talk about how the Lincoln Project spends all those Maddow viewers' money. Here is how much 3 other top liberal super PACs spend on operating expenditures compared to total disbursements. In other words, the percentage spent on overhead costs, including salaries over their lifetime. Senate Majority PAC spends 16.8% on overhead. Unite the Country is 14.75%, and American Bridge 21st Century is 46.7%. What do you think the percentage is for the Lincoln Project?
Well, you're going to see our new report coming out in July, which represents our first major period in our campaign that wasn't involved in startup costs and acquisition costs and data costs. and you're going to see that we are putting about 85 cents of every dollar into voter contact.
85% with 15% going to overhead would be a lot better, because right now it's the opposite. 11% goes to independent expenditures and 89% goes to overhead.
89.3% on overhead sounds like a lot, but I can't get into the right headspace to make a 10-second ad without wolfing down endangered mollusks in a titanium catamaran with my Bush administration buddies.
Well, as I've said before, you're looking at the startup and acquisition costs from the first quarter. The second quarter is going to show that we have a massive amount of money escrowed in the bank for media and for voter contact this fall, and that our numbers are competitive with any other PAC, and in fact, much better than most.
I sure hope so. That's a lot of cash.
All right, well, given all this, we had our media arm, which is me and I'm expensive, make a new Lincoln Project ad. Take a look at this.
President Trump is the most incompetent, corrupt president in history, and we need to do everything we can to stop him after compensating our strategists complicit in the deaths of countless innocent lives and paying for overhead such as lodging at the W Hotel and the Standard, both of which have fantastic roof decks. Stop this corrupt grifter ruining America. Donate to these savvy grifters who ruined it before, and hope you don't look into them.
All right, Rick, we know you have to go hoover up some more Rube cash, so that's all the time we have. Thank you to our analysts and guest Rick Wilson of the Lincoln Project. Thanks a lot, Rick.
Thank you so much, Rick. But honestly, please do take down Trump. He is bad. See you next time on Inside the Hill. Now, Rick, I don't know if you've seen this on the internet, but there's a lot of cake videos going around, and I actually did a reverse where you cut into the cake and there's a shoe inside of it. Have you ever seen anything like that, Rick?
I'm afraid not.
Yeah, there's this funny trend where when you look into the details of something, it's different.